Raymond Spatz, E4 Commissary. My orders for boot camp, I went straight, well, I had leave to go home for 14 days, I think it was, and then from there, I went right out to catch the Topeka out in San Francisco. Amazing, amazing. It was such a huge boat, ship, and I didn't know what to expect. You know, it was like a kid in a candy store, you know, hey, what am I gonna do here? So, I was a Bolsamate. It was basically, you know, chip paint, keep the ship shining, and when you always doing outside work, outside on the deck. They always found work to do inside, but very minimal. But I don't know why I chose being a cook. But I had a little knowledge of it, and they appreciated it, and I took it on. They took me underneath their wing. On the ship, I always thought that every unit on the ship would send people down to the galley, or, you know, they call it mess cooking, you know, clean up the trays and the dishes, and anything that had to be cleaned. They called it the scullery. It was a dirty job. And then you got guys working in the produce area where they would help with the potatoes and everything else. I had a little knowledge of cooking, and I volunteered. So I went down there, and because it was our turn to send people down, I and two other guys went down there and wound up staying. Never went back to my other unit. Well, when you always find somebody that will take you underneath their wing, and in various ways, guys would help each other. And if you knew a little something that somebody else didn't, or they didn't know, you just passed it on, or show them, and they go. As far as respecting your older guys, the elders that been in there for a few years, that got you on the right side, because they didn't like wise asses. And it didn't get you anywhere either. It changed almost every time you went in there. You might be on the food line, dishing out the food as they came through with the trays, you know. Or you could be working in the morning, doing the eggs on the grill, and then from there, and then when it's over, you clean up, and then you go right to lunch, do lunch. You start making stuff for lunch, and we had big steam pots that did most of your cooking for you, and you learned how to work them and do the ingredients. So it was an experience using that stuff. Never had the opportunity until I got in here. Everybody did, every area outside the mess hall, as far as like the produce area, they were just constantly, you know, nothing in the morning unless fruit, put out fruit and that, and then they would just keep on going for lunch, and then for dinner, and just prepping everything. And then in the butcher's area, they were doing the meats, or ahead of time, and we store them in the refrigerators. We didn't have much, but enough to keep it going. And the bake shop started early in the morning, like 2 o'clock. And you went to, you always, you did the breads, the pastries, the cook before the meal. And then while the meal's going on, you're doing the next meal. And then the next. And then you clean up while the evening meal's going on. You clean up and you set everything, all the dry goods up for the next morning. And all they have to do is add the liquid to start, help them start off. I basically used a lot of dry eggs. You know, they called them canned eggs. And you only use, you got very little fresh stuff. And that's when you're in port, you always got that on board. The only time anything was a lot of was milk, and that was used on the mess deck, you know, for the coffee and the cereals and that.